During a crisis, governments don't seize everything. They restrict access to a few critical things first. If you understand which 5, you can stay ahead without breaking the law. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition. Every major crisis, whether it's a war, a financial collapse, or a natural disaster, tends to follow the same playbook. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what gets restricted first, explain why it happens, and cover what you, as a civilian, can legally do right now to stay functional when things get difficult. Here's the single most important rule to understand. Governments don't actually want control for the sake of control. They want stability. That's the real goal. So every restriction they impose is designed to target whatever threatens that stability the fastest. So, what's the first thing to get squeezed? Your access to cash. What this actually looks like is ATM withdrawal limits are suddenly imposed. You might see unexpected bank holidays declared, shutting the doors for a few days. Electronic transfers get delayed, and in some cases, you'll see outright spending controls on your accounts. Now, the reason for this is simple. Governments are trying to prevent a bank run. They need to slow down the panic. What people get wrong here is they see the first sign of trouble and rush the banks, trying to withdraw everything they have. They advertise their panic, which just feeds the cycle. The legal, intelligent action is different. Keep a small, reasonable cash buffer at home, enough for a week or two, not your life savings. Diversify your payment methods, credit, debit, a little cash. The goal is to reduce your reliance on daily withdrawals so a temporary freeze doesn't paralyze you. Remember this, in a crisis, access to your money matters more than your total balance. Number 2, fuel and transport. This one happens fast. You'll see fuel rationing introduced, maybe through a coupon system or odd-even license plate days. Certain routes will be restricted with priority access given to emergency services. The government needs to protect its logistics and ensure ambulances and supply trucks can move freely. People get this wrong by immediately panic buying gas, which creates the very shortage everyone fears. The smart, legal action is different. Keep your vehicles consistently above a half tank of gas. It's a simple habit. If you plan to store extra fuel, do it only where it's legal and safe. Check your local regulations. And start right now to reduce your dependency on unnecessary travel. The key insight here is that mobility becomes permission-based faster than people expect. If this is more practical than the fear content you usually see, subscribe. This channel is about staying operational, not dramatic. Okay, number 3. Information and communication. Before they control movement, they try to control the narrative. What you'll experience is network throttling. Your internet suddenly gets slow. You'll see aggressive platform moderation with certain topics or posts disappearing, and the emergency broadcast system will dominate the airwaves. This is all done to stop the spread of misinformation and control the panic that follows it. The common mistake is to get sucked into doom scrolling, chasing every rumor on social media, and completely ignoring the official channels. A better strategy, and a completely legal one, is to pre-identify 1 or 2 highly reliable sources for information. Download offline maps and essential documents to your phone now so you don't need a connection to access them. And keep a written list of emergency contacts. Just remember, information control starts long before physical control. Fourth on the list, certain goods and supplies. They won't restrict everything, but they will triage the supply chain. This means things like medical supplies, masks, specific medications, and protective equipment will be the first to be controlled. Then certain long-lasting foods and even building materials after a disaster. The goal is to get these critical items to where they're needed most, like hospitals and shelters. Where people go wrong is hoarding. They clear the shelves, which creates artificial shortages and attracts the wrong kind of attention. The legal way to prepare is simple. Store normal household quantities, but do it early. Build a pantry over time. Rotate your supplies so nothing goes to waste. The difference is critical. Prepared looks normal. Hoarding attracts attention. And the fifth area, financial markets and assets. When a crisis hits, markets react violently. To stop a complete meltdown, you'll see trading halts or circuit breakers kicking in. You may see capital controls put in place to stop money from fleeing the country, and in severe cases, temporary freezes on certain assets. The entire point is to stop cascading failures. The mistake most people make is panic selling, making huge emotional financial moves based on temporary rules. They make permanent decisions during a temporary shock. The legal and sane approach is to prepare your finances for volatility before it happens. Maintain liquidity buffers, cash reserves, so you aren't forced to sell at the worst possible time. Diversify across different asset types, and cultivate the patience to avoid making forced decisions. Crises punish speed, they reward patience. I want to be very clear about something. Nothing I've talked about here is about hiding from the government or breaking the law. It's about not being dependent on single points of failure. It's about building resilience so that when one system is paused, you have another option. Redundancy is legal. Preparation is legal. Panic is expensive. So if you wake up one morning and these restrictions are starting to roll out, what's your playbook for the first 24 hours? It's simple. First, stop scrolling. Get off social media. Second, confirm what's happening with your single, pre-identified official source. Third, secure your essentials at home. You've already prepared, now just make sure they're accessible. Fourth, limit your movement. Don't rush out into the chaos. Fifth, avoid crowds at all costs. And finally, the hardest part, wait. Observe. Let the initial panic burn itself out. Doing less in the early hours keeps your options open later. Remember, governments don't target people first. They target systems. They target the financial system, the fuel distribution system, the information system. If you're prepared for those systems to pause, you don't need to fear control because you stay functional.